The second view of karma moves beyond the individual and sees existence itself as governed by causation, by a law of unfolding, where matter and energy interact in lawful ways, where every present event is influenced by past events, and where the distinction between living and non-living becomes less rigid because both follow patterns of cause and effect. The wind shapes the sand dunes, the river carves the canyon, the storm rearranges the coastline, and human decisions reshape societies. And all of this is movement within a single process. And in this sense, karma is not about moral reward, but about continuity. Not about blame, but about pattern. Imagine for a moment that you are standing in a long line of dominoes stretching back farther than you can see, and one by one they have been falling for ages, each one knocking the next. And when the domino in front of you falls and strikes you, you fall too. And from your limited perspective, it feels like, I chose to fall. But in reality, you were part of a sequence already in motion. And this does not mean you are meaningless. It simply means you are participating in something larger, something interconnected, something that cannot be fully understood from a single position within it. In everyday life, we experience karma in very simple ways. When you speak harshly to someone and they respond defensively, and that defensiveness influences your next reaction, and soon an argument unfolds that neither of you intended at the beginning, and you might later say, "How did this escalate?" But if you trace it backward, you can see each link in the chain, each tone of voice, each misunderstanding, each memory triggered, and nothing appeared from nowhere. And the same is true when kindness spreads, when a small gesture of generosity inspires another, when a teacher's encouragement shapes a student's confidence, when a parent's patience influences a child's emotional stability, and over time entire families and communities are shaped by these invisible ripples. The deterministic interpretation of karma suggests that the present is always influenced by the past, and in physics this is simply the law of causality. In biology, it is evolution. In psychology, it is conditioning. In sociology, it is cultural inheritance. And in spirituality, it is karma. And perhaps all of these are pointing toward the same underlying principle, that existence unfolds in patterns, that nothing stands alone, that everything is relational. And when we resist this idea, we often suffer because we try to isolate ourselves from the web. We try to claim complete authorship over what was never solely ours. This does not mean that effort is useless or that responsibility disappears, because even within a deterministic system, actions still produce consequences. But those actions themselves arise from prior causes.